Manna had a meeting right here, but now Manna, if you take all of Manna, none of them had as much sway on the books as As-Sabiqun did. We had LA, 2 spots in LA, Oakland, Alameda, San Diego. I mean, we had big, did you go to the program that we had in Oakland?
No.
Okay, Brother Tufel went. The Masjid was packed with people from all over. Arabs, this, that. It was like a national meeting. It was big. But none of those guys had that kind of sway. Hamza had a big name at that time, but he didn't have the physical authority to command the place. He had a big following, but not an organized, detailed, hear and obey, cooperational, organizational structure. Anyway, let me speed up. Whether it's Siraj, whether it's Zafar, whether it's Mighty Brave, whether it's the street preacher, whether it was London. Now remember what Dr. Kaleem Siddiqui said. I forgot he had said that until we, 3 years ago, we did that. I said, oh. I had remembered in general, but it was absolutely clear. He died 2 weeks later, but he was pointing, Imam Musa is the one that you should be following as a guide. Did it seem kind of like that? When I looked at it, okay, I knew it. He got in the car with me and my wife when I was coming back. And he technically said all that, but Sister Bahia was, what was he trying to say? The driver was Adam. He was one of their people. So I don't know what he said, what he meant. I mean, knowing who he was, I just don't know what he meant. But I knew what he meant. So the next time I came back to South Africa, it was different. Instead of everybody, when I was there with Dr. Siddiqui, and before, man, we went all over Botswana, we went everywhere, raising funds for Crescent. That's what we was, and I was the main fundraiser. And everybody had fallen in love with Imam Musa. And now, I think the second time, when we had the big program in '96, that was when Dr. Siddiqui was there himself. And they had said, the doctor said, if you go down there, he's not going to come back. Because it was clear that, you know, and I watched our friends work him to death. He would say, I'm tired. When we was on stage, when he was speaking, that time when he said those things, when he got warmed up, he turned flash white on stage, rocked back and forth, and the crowd, in other words, they thought he was gone then. But he caught himself, he finished up, and he was telling everybody, them, our friends, I'm a little tired. Oh, come on up to Botswana. The plane didn't come. Our host in Botswana owned an airline, you know, the African airline. He sent a plane, private plane up to get us. Simple as that. You know, that's the kind of, it's a rich crew in South Africa. These were Indians. Like in Botswana, they owned one brother owned a Mercedes outlet, one of them owned something or other. The other Toyota outlet, you know, all the Toyotas come to Botswana, they were rich, big rich. the poorest one lived in a place where we stayed. We called it Casablanca, like White House. And you couldn't take a picture, like if you take a picture in here. You couldn't take a picture of the whole kitchen with a camera. You had to go click, click, click. That's the kitchen. All those gold faucets and everything. They was rich. Not they were. They are rich. Well, one thing I remember about that was the jasmine flower. You could smell the jasmine flower. It was that time of the year. Boy, it's a beautiful smell. Anyway, by the way, one of them I stayed at one of them's place the other time. The really rich one that owns everything, he got cotton, he got just everything. Don't worry about it. Totally rich. Like I say, when our plane didn't come, the airline, Botswana is just a 4-hour drive away. So it's only a few 40-minute, hour flight. But in those propeller planes, we just jumped in his plane. He sent a plane, said just wait there, and he sent a plane. 40 or 50 minutes, we get on the plane, we go to Botswana. We've been there many times. But Imam Musa was not top billing. Since I had been top billing, they was easing it down one step at a time. Slowly but surely. Remember when Dr. Siddiqui has passed away? And they would do the meanest things. They would know, this is late as 2007 and 8. They know we was raising funds for here. They would send money back by me for the street prayer, knowing that it was an insult. It's just an insult, that's all. I said, sure, I'll take it. And I'd turn it over just like I bought it. They didn't need to send it, I let them manage everything. And Tehran and all those places, since Dr. Siddiqui used to organize a lot of that stuff, Zafar was handling it and I never interfered. I would let Zafar and Muhammad al-Asi handle all of the flights, all of this. In other words, if you would look at it, you would think that they were managing everything I was doing. To make a long story short, I'll just cut this off with me. They did the same thing to me that Manna did. At the Manna meetings, I would be like all Negroes there. You would think that I'd have a free run, say what I want to do, It was all ignoring, just basically to ignore. I would actually raise my hand in the meeting. That's the problem. They know I want to speak. Hamza? No, the earth, just like the earth is rotating. I remember to talk 23 degrees on its axis. I said, that has a whole lot to do with forming a new group in Islam. But anyway, that's what they did. Abdul Malik them, Marty Gray, Jahari Abdul Malik, right? Zayd Shakir them, all the rest of the crew. What do they have in common? What do they have in common? The immigrants love them. They speak on all the platforms of the immigrants. And they don't have nothing to do with Imam Musa. Nothing. They don't call on the phone. They don't, hey, da-da-da-da-da. They just, that's what they got in common. It must be their job. Sometimes you think that they think that if they ignore Imam Musa, all this reality will go away. But now remember, if we're talking about management and organization, look at DC. 15 years ago, the demonstrations, da-da-da-da-da, our security apparatus, right? Here in D.C., Philadelphia, just on the East Coast, we were rolling. Rush Limbaugh was said on his program that Imam Musa was telling our people, you know, when I led the people in Takbirs, you know, they can't say I was not, they couldn't say As-Sabiqun was not on the front page. Maybe they didn't read it, but it was there, right? Mm-hmm. What about all the white folks? What are they? Not care.
Answer.
Huh?
Answer.
Answer everybody. Mm-hmm. They'd have some of the meetings right here. So
that's Monty Gray's crew. All the literature that they put out as the, I guess, the Muslim representative, his name is his name is on there.
But we played that. You talking about playing it like a fiddle? Remember what all the brothers was telling me, man, that nigga, so don't worry about a thing. Remember that? I would tell, don't worry about a thing. I said, the only people gonna remember is us. Remember, we'd be up on the stage, people would be handing us their babies so they could take a picture. Right? Remember? Yeah. We'd be doing security. And everybody would be relating to us. The men in black, they was calling us, right? They saw discipline, unity, cooperation. That's all they remember, okay? When I would get up to speak for, we control the stage. When we got up to speak for, 5 minutes would be too long. 3, 4, 5 minutes maximum. That's the only thing they would remember. They would associate uniform, us, speech. This is what this is all about. Because that's all the time we needed to make our statement. They could talk for a half an hour, so who cares? That don't make no difference. In fact, most of these speakers did. They'd speak, running off. Nobody remembered them, right? And that's what I told. That's what I was telling everybody. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I said, we do security. We need to pick up garbage bags. We'll do all of that. You never saw Marty Bray get off. Oh, he'd have one of them swivel chairs down there at AMC that swing around. He didn't wear a vest, but you could imagine him sticking his fingers and turn around, and he would be, now, what gave him backup was us. That's what would give him backup. Oh yeah, we got it covered. Imam Musa, could we do? I said, don't you worry about that. But nobody remembered Marty Bray. Although they got him on the radio, they had, I don't know what everywhere. They still don't remember. And it's them doing it, right? Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that they have in common. All of them are anti-Imam Musa or avoid Imam Musa, right? Pretend that Imam Musa don't exist. That's not the way the world is working. Jahari Abdul Malik over there. Remember he was up at Howard? Remember as soon as he became the Imam or whatever? No more programs at Howard. Think back to those wonderful programs we'd have in Blackburn, mm-hmm. and it's neutral. Yeah. Okay, when we'd have programs in the Masjid, it wasn't neutral. We'd have more people over there, mm-hmm. because it's neutral ground, so anybody from any Masjid could come. Yeah. Oh, we just rolled it. Closed it down. Those programs have a tint to them, some kind. Some Shia flavor. I don't know what the hell it is. Excuse my language. I don't know what he was talking
Yeah.
about. Okay, now, I'm gonna make a big jump right here. And I'm gonna make it to here. You can tell the date of this right down here. It has 4/17, 2011. Can you imagine? That's 9 years ago. That's 9 years ago. What, 8 points. So this technically is 9 years ago. This was at a hands-off Libya program right there where they shot Kennedy, on a grassy knoll. It was right there.
Right.
This was a hands-off Libya because they're getting ready to invade Libya, and our program was saying, leave Libya alone, hands off. That was the name of the program, Hands Off Libya. But number one, we have something up here called protracted struggle. That means a long-range struggle. Step one, destabilizing. Step two, temporary transformation. Remember, this is right in the middle of Arab Spring. It's going to be some temporary footwork. So in Egypt, Morsi got in today and he's gone tomorrow, but it's temporary. Okay, we're saying this before he gets in. This is 4/17/2011. Step two, organizing unity of opposition, semi-consolidation. Number four, regional vision. Number five, victory. Long process of regional development, personal islah. Islah is self-improvement. Okay, now, have anybody been watching the news or listening to the news about today?
As far as Iraq?
Yeah, as far as Iraq. Okay. I'm telling you, it's not that we're sitting around waiting for a sign, but everything that was written down here, we're right in the middle, or at the end of it. We're right in the middle of this. Nobody even mentioned anything like this. None of the Negroes, nobody else. None of the white folk prognosticators, nobody talked about regionalism. But everything right now is regionalism. Everything. Because everything is happening on a regional basis. You see, in Iraq, they was interviewing one alim. He said that the U.S. Embassy is a place of sabotage, of perversion, of spying, of all of that. Now, the Iraqi embassy is the biggest embassy in that region. The one that it surpassed was the Cairo embassy. The Cairo embassy back in the day had 3,000 employees. Why? Because the center of everything was Cairo. From Cairo, they did all the fitna. You know, that's 10, 15 years ago. 3,000, might have been 3,500 employees at the Cairo embassy. And that was the destabilization of the Middle East. Now, since then, what have we had? The Zionist opposition to JCPO, all of that. Zionist opposition to everything. Zionists have killed in this year, what do they say on the news, 153 Palestinians, just this year alone. 2 weeks after this came out, well, it was the 28th of April, I think, they came out with that poster with Jamil at the top, Imam Lukman in the middle, and me at the bottom. That was right after this came out. Revolution from Egypt to the Americas. What you talking about that? You know, when we're just there in Oakland. Why from Egypt to the Americas? Da 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 da. Okay. Once they read this, something hit them that they've been knowing about all along. But it's hard for them to admit certain things. What this did was it bust them wide open. They said, that nigga got sense. Just think about it now. Not local sense. This nigga understands how the world is working. Now, they knew it all the time because when I would speak at programs for the brothers from the Islamic Republic, I would be just like now, bringing historical stuff, boom, boom, boom. But once we start putting out our As-Sabiqun and you got a written record, and then this right here set the stage. First of all, review where we are now. Has everything on that taken place?
Yep.
I just want you to think of the fitna, just think of fitna. Fitna in Lebanon, everybody knows where it's coming from. Fitna in Iraq, everybody knows where it's coming from. The Arab Contras, or Saudi Arabia, just bombing and killing anything they want to do. Remember the U.S. How many wedding parties have they bombed? How many civilians have they killed? Oh, you got to think about it. In Afghanistan, they just killed 37. In Afghanistan, when one of the American troops, when they slaughtered these people, one of them urinated on the Afghans. Laying there, they dead. But you could see the utensils. They got holes and rakes, and they're not terrorists. They're Afghani citizens. That's all they are. They're poor farmers. You can see it in the pictures. When somebody even want to talk about something like that, they